put on the spot.
Yeah.
And that's why everyone was exposed.
And since you're from Guatemala, like and of course you talk to your family back home. So like, tell me about how COVID has made things shittier and worse for your country.
It sucks. It sucks. First of all, when COVID started, the airport closed like the day that I got kicked out of Delphi, so I couldn't go back home. I'm like, oh, okay, at least my country's shutting down. But they never fully shut down. They closed the airport, and then they closed a bunch of businesses, but they still allow certain people to go out. The main thing that they did that was, I think, really good was wearing masks. Like, there's a really expensive fine if you don't wear a mask.
Okay.
So handling the situation in the beginning, I would say it was not that bad because they did shut down everything quickly.
Yeah.
However, coming back, like trying to reopen, first of all, they don't even have vaccines that are like, how are you going to reopen when people are not vaccinated? And the main problem of Guatemala, our government, is they don't care about the people. The government has never cared, which is why they are pushing forward to reopening to keep the economy up.
Mm-hmm.
To have trade again with the U.S. and the world,
yeah,
because the government is interested in money. But meanwhile, 60% of the country lives in extreme poverty. They don't know about the pandemic, so they don't know about vaccines and
knowledge
benefits.
Wise, yeah.
And then they become skeptical, like, oh, I'm gonna be like infertile, whatever. Like, that's where all those skepticals come from, lack of education. And then there's the other people who, they do have a decent level of education, but they don't have an opportunity to get a vaccine. Like, the way they had organized it was, first the older people were going to get vaccinated, then teachers, like school teachers and all that, so they would open it up. It was kind of different than the way they handled it here with essential workers. So my dad, he's a teacher, so he was supposed to be second in line to get the vaccine. That was supposed to be in March, but they couldn't get access to vaccines, period. The first ones that we had were Pfizer, Moderna. They didn't get there, so instead we have Sputnik from Russia. What the heck is that? We don't even know if it works, but that's what they're getting. AstraZeneca is another one that they got, which Europe discontinued. They're just getting random vaccines, but we hear them spend millions and millions of dollars, and then when it's time to roll out the vaccinations, they're not there. Like, the centers were closing at 11 a.m. because they said, oh, we ran out of vaccines. Or the people, like, there's a system where you sign up to get an appointment, but it was not working for the longest time. And then when it finally did, you go and you wait for a text message to get there to tell you, like, to come in. People wouldn't get that text message. My dad to this day hasn't gotten that text message.
Yeah, it's been a long time, like months.
This is July, mid-July. He was supposed to get it in March. He actually, let me rephrase that. Yesterday I talked to him. He said, yesterday I got the text to go get the vaccine. Yesterday.
Oh shit.
This is how many months later? It's too late. So you know what the solution is, because of how poorly organized it is? My dad came to the U.S. to get the vaccine.
Oh, he had to come here?
He came here because it was easier.
Yeah, it's easier.
He had to, but that's what's so unfair. Why do you have to go out of your way, spend money on a plane ticket to get a vaccine, which here is for free?
And he's lucky too, because he had the chance to even come here. Because some people don't, and they'll just die.
So that's the situation right now, not only in Guatemala and a lot of Latin America. The people who have the money to come to the U.S., they are coming here to get a vaccine. Because in their countries, the system doesn't work. There's not enough vaccinations. The centers are closing early. There's the people who don't have the money to travel, they have to go to the city, the capital, because that's the only place where you can get a vaccine, not in your pueblo, your town. So the city's just a small portion, like 20%, and then the rest of the country, what they have to wake up at 3 a.m., go to the city, stay in line, standing to get their vaccine, also that they can tell them, oh, we ran out today, go back home.
Damn, it's crazy.
It sucks.
I know, COVID, as I said, especially in the United States, it's a punch, but like it's something you could get back from. But like small countries, when something you punch them, like it's gonna be really, really hard.
It's bad. And that's only I only talked about vaccines. I have 2 cousins who go to public school because that's the only way. Like, that's what my aunt afforded. That school hasn't reopened. They've lost more than a year of school. So these girls are stuck. And this is not the first time that happens in Guatemala, where they have to shut down schools for a year or months. So what does the government do? They tell them they passed. You lost a whole year of reading, writing, math, whatever. How did you pass? So you're going to the following grade not knowing all the contents covered before. So then by the time you're actually graduating school, if you make it that far, you still have that year that you lost. So
yeah.
you're still behind.
Yeah, in a way.
But the
yeah.
government is lying because they want their numbers to be okay. That way they don't get pressure from the U.S.
Yeah.
and other countries, because the U.S. controls a lot of what we're doing.
That's
And,
I'm gonna talk about that too later. And yeah, so as I said, you said about Guatemala, and